What I've seen a lot is folks pushing up against the state and local tax deduction. And what happens is you start adding up their property taxes and their state income taxes. All that pushes like $30,000. So they're real close to 31.5. And what's interesting is before you really had to lump your gifts to charity, and you had to use a donor advised fund more often than not to do it to get any real material benefit. And even then you had to give like 3 years of gifts, get up to 50, 70,000. I mean, bigger numbers, right?
Yeah.
Now you're in a structure where, if you're $500, $1,000 away from the standard deduction, plus you've got the $2,000 on top of it from a charity standpoint, you almost really don't necessarily need.
The lumping factor has diminished some because of that SALT expansion, which is a benefit for those that are charitably inclined or maybe not. Right?
It's a benefit to charities too.
Yeah. And the last thing that I mentioned, Chris, is, and we had a couple in just yesterday who had already seen this $6,000 deduction. Just so you know, the notion of no tax on Social Security is rectified by these deduction limits for MAGI or modified adjusted gross, but there is an available extra $6,000 per person if you meet these modified adjusted gross income thresholds or are below those.
Right.
And then it's diminished by 6% for every $1,000 you earn above those numbers. So
and it's 150,000 modified adjusted gross for married filing,
or 75 for an individual filing.
Right.
And the neat thing there is, those folks already had an additional deduction for having reached 65 of $2,000 for an individual or $36 for a married filing jointly. And so the capacity of the total deduction for an individual now, if you meet those thresholds, are $23,750 for an individual or up to $46,700 for a married filing jointly. I think this applies to probably a lot of folks out there. And so something to be looking at and planning for.
It is. Now, it's notable that only goes through 2028.
That's something to think about and plan for right now as well. We were talking in the context of a Roth conversion. This can help maybe move some additional dollars right now because of that deduction over the next 3-4 years.
Right.
And so, again, an invitation to take advantage of the current tax law as it's now written. We've got a good understanding of that, and we invite you to take advantage of our knowledge.
And you've got a few years to really make hay on some sort of notable little niche things that may be applicable to your situation.
Yeah.